Alrighty, here we go. We have 5 minutes to warm up for the hump day ride. I've only just got on the bike myself. Again, audio levels, let me know. You guys are in control. Let me know up or down on the tracks playing in the background or the microphone itself. I might just push your microphone down a little bit there. But yeah, you let me know. Crossroads 09, how you doing? I have towel, I have drinks. We're sitting here for the next hour or so. Should be good. Hey, Black Jungle. Alright, so we're back on Watopia tonight. Oh, the chain's a little bit loud on this bike. Oh, and the kit's not crisp. There we go, all sorted. How we doing? Aha, UK, you're just getting out of bed. Enjoy your morning cups of tea and scones. That's standard for the course, isn't it? Par for the course in the UK, tea and scones. Rightio. The music could be louder, thank you. Cool, love that feedback. That's I can just push that a little bit up. We'll see how that goes. How you doing, Von? Von's going to join me, but she'll be out of shot, so she'll be in the same ride. We've got her all set up next to me. That computer is on, Von. I'll turn your screen on for you. Which doesn't turn my screen off, I hope. They're both the same televisions. This counts as studying, absolutely. Absolutely, this is studying. There we go. I better get Von's Zwift. Or can I? No, she's touched her keyboard. I can't control. She can join late. That's a good thing about these events. You can actually join them late in case you miss your clip in and away you go. On the kicker 18 tonight, so it should be... what I'm hearing is the noise of my chain. Von's over on the kicker core. So double kicker tonight. If you have any questions in the live stream, just fire away anytime. Happy to answer any questions about videos I've done lately, any tech that I've seen or you may have seen. Bike related stuff, trainings, you name it, anything. Happy for a chat. If I don't know the answer, I will point you maybe in the right direction. What have we got? 3 minutes. I'm keeping an eye on the watts this time. If you remember my last live stream, the watts locked, and it wasn't a very good ride. No, I haven't. Sorry, Von. Von's looking for a heart rate strap. This is the standard thing that happens before a ride. Where's your heart rate strap? Where's my shoes? Where's my drink bottles? Where's my towel? Chasing 4.0 Asioma or a Power Tap P1. I've got to go probably the Asiomas over the P1s for now. They're a few years ahead of the P1s. The P1s are still great pedals if you can get them on a good price and a good deal. They work very well. Asiomas, as I said, probably the next generation. So the dual Bluetooth, so they take the Asiomas now take both pedals and push that through one Bluetooth channel, something the P1 and P2 does not do. We need to get some fans happening. What's the current trend of streamers including a camera of their pedals and trainers all about? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It just adds a little bit more, I guess, realism, maybe? Why are you able to push one of those fans down to 2? Thank you. So, I add it to mine because a lot of people ask what equipment I'm using, so it's sort of handy to have the equipment shown down there on screen. There we go. Speed 13764, is that your PIN number for your credit card? Because you've got it on your username. But asks, what's a pretty good, what runs with pretty good well on a budget?
Do you need this?
I don't need that. Yeah, just do the update. It's,
do you need this?
Yeah, I can. Depends. Do you mean a trainer or a computer for the budget? All right, what have we got now? Minute 20. Hang on, let me see my... Okay, yeah, we're good. Tim Searle says he has a Lama behind me. Favourite Melbourne route, hills or Bawley? All of the above. All of the above. Mount Pleasant Loop is good. Is sweat good for your bottom bracket? No, but grease is. Keep your bottom bracket serviced at all times or you'll get a creak. No Barrel Classic this year, sorry. We won't be heading up. That was a long drive last year. We enjoyed that. Definitely a good day on the bike. All right, no, not erg mode today. This is all just sim mode, so simulation, where the trainer will simulate the hills up and down, and just the standard course. So no erg mode locking me in. I've been using erg quite a bit lately, learning to love it. I still don't love it, but it has its place. It has its place for sure. So speed 1376.4 asking about a computer. Apple TV is the best thing to get so far for a computer. 10 seconds to go. Here we go. Apple TV 4K, cheapest and best so far. Computer-wise, you're still looking at around $1,000 for something with a good NVIDIA card in it. All right, roll out. Roll out. Let's do this. First of all, let's turn on my fan. I've got multiple phones happening at the moment. Okay, so here on the Hump Day ride, it's an easy roll for the first 2 laps. Then there's a race lap. I'm just planning on cruising with a bunch tonight. Okay. Keeping an eye on my watts there, making sure I'm tucked into the bunch, hiding away. It's so easy to shoot past the bunch if you're doing something else, or even easier, get dropped off the back. Here we go. I'm not a left-handed phone person, that's what I'm having trouble with. There we go, resistance lets up there, negative 1%, spinning out. Headwind, fan on. There we go. Oh, you probably can't see because it's too bright. Just turned on the headwind. And away we go. Cool, cool. Thoughts on the UCI Worlds in Wollongong? Good. It's a good get for Cycling Australia for sure. We'll have to wait and see the course. We'll also have to wait and see who's who of cycling at the time. Will Sagan be retired in 4 years? Who knows? Christopher's coming to Daylesford. Awesome. Awesome. We'll see you there. This ride's part of my training for that. I haven't ridden over 100 Ks in a long time, so it's all about time on the bike. What the hell could Giant possibly contribute to HDR? The kit, naming rights, and virtual bike. Is it too late to join at Daylesford? No, join in. When sign up? Sign up's still through till Friday before. Heaps of time. Do I still have the Technogym My Ride treadmill, the My Run treadmill? Zwift Australia borrowed that. So Zwift Australia still have it. So no treadmill running for me lately. Alrighty. Now we will see a few updates to the course. Not the 20,000 one, the 29,151. Yeah. And FEC. We're not talking in code, we're talking in ANT Plus profile ID numbers for Vaughn to hook up the other kicker. VR for cycling. Not really a thing yet. Zwift has supported it for years, but it sweats up way too much. Way too much and way too quickly. I've always thought augmented reality is where to go first for indoor cycling. Even the lights that I've got around this screen here, that you can't see, it changes based on the colours that I'm going through, just to sort of add to the experience.
Oh my god.
That's very jumpy. Why is my RPM so high? No. Don't analyse any of the stats when I'm just cruising and live streaming. In a race or a training session, As for now, I'm just riding the bike. 95, 96, it's just what I'm spinning. I didn't even know my cadence until I looked up there on the corner of the screen. Brandon, how you doing? Yeah, it definitely would be easy to fall off a bike with VR. I'm not sure what that was, but that was a dropout from me. That was, you ride the stickers off the thing. Oh man. So, power goes to 0. I've got way too much going on in this room, but power shouldn't go to 0. Will we be heading to the 2022 UCI World Championships? Whoa. I couldn't tell you where I'm heading next week. Yeah, sure. Von's heading up, she says. Why do spinners grind while people... I can't really answer much about what other people do on a bike or my form when I'm just talking. Crap. That's my gears. 3 peaks next year? No, not really on the cards. It's a hell of a lot of suffering on a bike. Alrighty. How long of a ride? Asked Jeffrey. We're going for 41 kilometres. Well, Tim Searle's calling me out for something. What am I doing? Oh, that's because of my haircut. He's calling me Rastaman. Let's have a closer look at that. Okay, so I'm keeping an eye on the beacon, or the bacon as we call them, which is the yellow... Hey Von, you got any strepsils? Livestream wants you strepsils.
I'm not getting off the bike then.
Good call. Over the bridge. So we're all on Giant bikes. It's just a bit of a branding thing for Giant. For this one, am I using the climb for this ride? No. No, just the front wheel block. I've got too much, yeah, this room's a bit of a mess. It's a clean mess, but there's just a lot of stuff going on. Alright. I see a llama. Everyone sees a llama. Okay. Ducky has an Elite Novo Smart Turbo. Is it any good with Zwift? I think that's the same resistance unit as my cheapest smart trainer in a bunk ride video, which is fine for what it does. Bit of limitation around, I guess, the braking strength and the power accuracy, but if you just want up and down hills, no probs. No, we didn't do the ride to work day. It was on the cards. So was the rain. So we kept clear of that. Today's my ride to work, just here.
Rescheduled.
Rescheduled, Von says. Von, you've been asked a question even though you're not on camera. Bottle comes out of nowhere. How does Chasing 4.0 get his girlfriend to ride with him? Do you think Chasing 4.0 may need to change his last name from 4.0 to another name?
Well,
potentially Mrs. 4.0. How could she...
Well, it sounds like she's up the road because he's chasing.
He's chasing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if he gets her a kicker, they can ride together and he won't be chasing her anymore.
Okay, so in a nutshell there, get your girlfriend, who I'll call potential Mrs. 4.0, a kicker.
Just chasing him.
Oh, Chasing 4.0. Okay, I see where you've gone with that. Yvonne's a smart one here. I'm not the smart one. I don't know. I'm all blurry when the numbers go up.
Explain it.
Have I ever tried mountain biking or cross-country enduro? Yeah, we did a 24-hour mountain bike team event up in Canberra a couple of years back. It's a bit of fun. Lots of fun. But having to chug a Red Bull at 2 AM to roll out of a car to do a time trial lap for an hour is something I won't forget. To crank up this headwind a little bit. There we go. Thoughts on Kona? Very, very quick day on the bike for Kona. About 2 or 3 kilometers per hour quicker on average for everyone at Kona. Power meter usage was down a couple of %, which was very interesting to see. This is the data sample that I have. What else? No, it was a good watch. And the winners are sure deserving of their awards, championship status. But even just to cross that line, standing upright, no matter where you come in, is just an epic effort. Alexander asks about switching between challenges without losing progress. Yes, you can. You can switch on Zwift between them. It will save your current status and move across. But remember, if you're going towards the... that's not my gears. Put another... Wait for it. Wait for it.
It's like a lottery.
If you have the... Oh, we are very old school. This is not the volcano route. No way. Is it taking me the right way? Oh, it is too. Awesome. So, the stickers I put on the core are coming off. We have chevrons flying all over the room. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. If you're doing the Everest challenge and you're going towards the Tron bike, remember that has to be selected for your elevation to count for the Tron bike, which is 50,000 meters, 50 kilometers of elevation gained. Testing the Pioneer power meter? Yes, I am. It's been on the bike for a few weeks. Oh, that was the mixed drink. I was expecting water. The proposal at the end to his girlfriend, yeah. That was brilliant. That was so brilliant. If you didn't have the feels watching that, you're not human. It was a good moment.
Totally copy guys.
A lot of pressure on the missus. But ended well. Ended well. One thing I noticed though is Patrick Lang, have a look at the energy he had after the race, just crossing the finish line. He wasn't slaughtered. He came across, he could still stand up, still coherent, jumping around. I mean, he was tired, no doubt. But the fitness that guy had to finish the race, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. What have I lost? I've lost my RPMs, okay. Wonder why I was going like a motorbike. Whew. That resistance is kicking in. Better learn how to change gears. There we are. Yeah, it seems to be a problem with the kicker core, yeah. I've stuck my stickers over top of the kicker core if you saw my video on it. And it's those on top of the other ones that are flying off. Thankfully they're only plastic, they're not metal. What's the biggest race I've been in distance-wise? One day race is about 140 Ks, I think. And if you count the Adelaide race ride Fondo, we think it was 180, I think, maybe 170. Stage race is 3 days, maybe 4 day stage race. Zwift New York on November 30th. Don't know. As soon as anything New York drops, I'll be on it. I'll come on here and do a ride through. We'll show everyone what it's about. Whew. But I haven't heard, sorry. Steve asked about a stages versus 4i left only. Not sure on the 4i, I've never had one. No major reports of them being horrible though. My tunes may have stopped. Hopefully that's not too loud. I need something to tick along to. So let me go to chat screen here. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the shop. As long as I'm staying with the bunch, yeah, we're good. Steve D, about the same cost. Go the Kicker Core. The Kicker Core is a good buy, for sure. It's direct drive, interactive. A lot of the time when people ask about, oh, am I off the front? Might be. Bad etiquette. When people ask about one or the other, it's usually about which one they purchase first. So go the Core first, get that experience indoors. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's coming into winter, grab that. Here we go. Okay, I was a bit quick. I got to pay more attention. The Core's going well. Von's on it. It's just flying all the stickers off. That's all. Doing quite a bit of testing with the new firmware. The 1.04 has fixed the kick spike, but not the sustained overshoot of the power. So we'll have a look at that when they've analysed the data I've sent through. Sort of kicks in around 1100 to 1200 watts. Typically not the kind of intervals I'm doing. The Zwift Hyper found a new colour, yeah. Yeah. Until we see the facts, we don't know. Somebody asked before about the IQ squared power meter. Haven't seen one yet. They're doing weekly updates over on their Kickstarter. And they've put their own data out, but we haven't seen the data from other sources yet. Jason mentions the Kicker Core in the UK. He's all sold out. Yeah, I knew that was coming. And my head is a perfect surface for that text to be overlaid onto. Dan, no inside goss, I'm sorry. I do a lot of work around the Zwift platform, but I'm just an end user. I really am. Anything I've got to share goes straight up on here, either in the digital Peloton news or a Zwift tip or something, so I'm in line with everyone else. How do I rate the original Flux? Well, my first original Flux broke. My second original Flux broke. My third is fine. I can't break that, and I've tried. So the ones coming out of the factories now and on the shelves should be okay. Should be. As always, purchase locally from a store that will look after you post-sales. Buying online or buying internationally, you're going to have risk, no matter what. Dan Plant asked, do I race? I have. For many, many years. If I pull down this green screen, there's all my numbers and things back there. Not so much anymore. You're going to have to speak up, Von, because you're on mic. Zwift just dropped a tease for New York on Facebook. Alrighty, I'll have to have a look. Speaking of the races, one of my Facebook memories came up from 7 years ago, the time trial for the National Masters Champs, which was just over, literally just over my back shoulder, one road away. It's a great course, super fast, pretty flat, 20 kilometers, and I think we averaged 46 k's an hour for that one. It was a good day. Which affordable power meter would I choose? Affordable is a little hard one to define. The Aussie came up out of nowhere, to be honest. I haven't found a bad review or consistent bad reviews of the Aussie. So shop around, see what suits. If you want a pedal-based power meter, crank-based, wheel-based, depends what you need to solve your problems. But the Aussie they're a quiet achiever, they really are. Oh, you got away with doing the shiv challenge in a bunch ride. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. If I could document that of how to do it, we'd put it up as a Zwift hack. Bicycle Sunday says that I should do a new Zwift cave video. Very, very good idea. Very good idea. Oh, I've done 20 minutes already. Flying along. Absolutely flying.
What do you guys now?
Yeah, power to max. I mean, everyone likes their power to max. They were popular at Kona, somewhat, but we just haven't heard from them. We've not seen a peep out of them. They weren't at Eurobike, they weren't at Interbike. They're not around. I wouldn't know where to actually buy a power to max power meter, and that's a problem. You want a pair of Garmin Vector pedals? You go straight to almost any bike store in the world. You want a power to max? Where do you go? You got to jump online for that. For Vero Asiomas, same, I think, online. Clark states that he's finding group rides are usually too slow. I'm not sure. It depends on what your zones are and what you're looking for. Within the app itself, if you go to events here, you scroll through the events and have a look. Well, if you're finding the bunch rides too slow, join a race. But usually in there they'll list, most of them are races, but cat and mouse, sprinters, they'll usually list in the event itself the watts per kilo. So if you know what to look for or what ride you're looking for, just scroll through your list there and join the one that's suitable. Another happy Favero customer right there. Good stuff, Mark. I do appreciate everyone's feedback. If you've got technology that works for you, let me know. Let everyone else know. There's enough forums out there of people with technical issues. But people saying and sharing their experience of something working really well is just as important. Mark's also got the flying sticker. Von, shout outs to your flying stickers.
Yeah, love it!
I should put a chevron on my head if we could.
Sounds like a motor engine.
Yeah, see, Power to Max selling directly to customer from their website, that's a problem. Von disputes that being a problem. I think it's a problem. Not everyone can install a power meter themselves, especially a crank-based power meter. Pedals, yes, absolutely. And that's no question why the Vector 3s are so popular. You can go into any bike store, buy a box of power meter, and install them yourself with a 15mm hex wrench, 15mm wrench. That is brilliant. My experience with them initially wasn't that great. Stay tuned for round 2 on that. But you can't compete. They'll have to compete on price, maybe installation services, maybe bike stores offering installation for people. Christian asks, which connection do I prefer for my devices, Bluetooth or Ant Plus? Ant Plus all day long. Especially because I've got so many devices here. As soon as that Bluetooth connection is taken by one thing, phone, Bolt, other phone, iPad, you won't see the device. At least Ant Plus is broadcast and I can connect to it. There's room for both. Bluetooth has huge potential, mainly because it's in every single one of these. Whereas Ant Plus isn't in any mobile devices from Apple. I know it's in a couple of Android devices. Mitch states that it's probably why Stages are so crazy popular. Yeah, absolutely. Nearly anyone can install a left side crank, for sure. Mark Ferguson's in the channel. That'd have to be Maven. It is. I can see his little icon there. It's small. Maven, you've lost weight. Look, your little icon is tiny. Must be all the running he's doing. Have I been to Mallorca? No, I haven't. Haven't been there. You asked about accelerating. Well, it's a bit of a use case I haven't done yet. Accelerating with the NPE cable and then coasted. I've done a video using the NPE cable and the Quark power meter. Oh, that's almost 2 years ago now. Not recently and not testing that. Yeah, as I said, Glenn, Ant Plus is in some Samsung phones or some Android phones. It's not a standard. And Apple phones. So the Levi Lipeheimer Gran Fondo from 2 weeks ago in the US. iPhones outranked Androids for the Strava app by almost 10 to 1. iPhones just dominate. That's the sporting demographic. There's other reasons, I know. But Ant Plus is not going to be universal. Crunchy. How do I make sure only one device is controlling the resistance of the kicker when using Ant Plus? I make sure only one device is selected to control the unit. Ant Plus doesn't really have the same issues as Bluetooth in that respect. You've actually got to go and grab that connection and specifically select something to be controllable. If Von on the machine next to me selected this trainer as controllable, yeah, then there's a bit of screwiness. Athletes are yuppies. I think athletes just want things that work. You turn on and they just work. Your kicker core is super squeaky when rocking. Hey Von, give us a rock. Not sure. Best thing for that one, grab a small video of it when you can replicate it, send it through to Wahoo support. Even just on a phone. Grab your phone, grab it squeaking. Let them know how you can replicate the issue, and they'll advise from there. Am I going hard at the end for the race? No. Just cruising tonight. All right, what have we got?
We're already up the hill.
Up the hill. How far am I ahead? I better back it up. I'm 17th place out of 323. So 323 players tonight. Good stuff. No race. Just cruising at the moment. So one thing I screwed up with on in my racing days was being on all the time, 24/7, all year round, on. And it leads to, you can pull out some pretty good performances, but you get burnt out pretty quick. So since coming back from the States a couple of weeks back. A lot of base work, just building up the TSS slowly. We'll get back into it when the sun comes out. Crunchy. Hunty asks, have I ever had dropout problems when not using FVC on your kicker? Absolutely. The kicker itself has 2 ant channels. One for private ant, the traditional ant. A second one over here, and I'm doing crossover for a reason, is FVC ant. What happens is every 104 seconds or 208 seconds, one's transmitting on the same radio, they cross over, you'll get a dropout on the private ant. Super common problem. If you look at the data, you'll see drops at regular intervals if you're not using the FVC. The way I see it, Wahoo should probably kill off their private ants. Now everything is FVC compatible. If there's any software out there that's not FVC compatible, it's time to go. It's time to leave the building. There's standards for a reason. Legacy is a pain in the ass for IT. It's a huge reason why we don't have direct Bluetooth to Windows on Zwift. All the legacy systems. Gil asks, when will Asioma have cycling dynamic support? As in the advanced metrics on Garmin head units? Not sure. I believe they're in discussion with the technical working group with Ant Plus. So, soon. Let's hope soon. How much do I cycle indoors and outdoors per year? Depends on the weather, depends on travel, really does. Had some great rides outside recently though, the weather's starting to warm up here. So a really good ride the other day through Creswick. You'll see on my Strava what the ratio is. And I finally got Strava verified the other day. After,
Thunderstorm.
or is it thunderstorm time, is it? But I've been asking Strava, how do I get verified athlete? It's me. I send emails to Strava all the time. How do I get that little tick? Which is just an identity verification. So I think that just funny popped up the other day. I was pretty happy with that. I work a bit on this, the Strava profile, making sure I put a picture and descriptions of rides and have a bit of fun with it. Hugh says that his friends do base literally all off season until 3 weeks before race season, that they build the 1 to 5 minute critical power. Yeah, yep. That's how I kept fit through any of the illnesses I had off. Illness. Do you call it an illness when you fall off your bike? Collarbones, hips, any crashes I've had. Just keep working on that 2-3 minute power. Get the cardio up, you can come back flying. DC Rainmaker. What time is it over there in Amsterdam? I thought he was still sleeping. Questions for DC Rainmaker, fire away, let's do it. Let's get him on chat. Hey Ray, question before about the pedaling dynamics on the Asiomas. They're working on it, I believe. Favero were discussing with that with the technical group. 10:31 in the morning, that's perfect time to be in the bed. Glenn Kenny, what's the latest on the Zwift training plan developments? Really not up to the standard of Trainer Road just yet. Don't know. Good observation, I agree. The Trainer Road plans are killer. They are really, really good. There we go, awesome. So for Vero, looking at pedal dynamics, end of year likely. Very, very, very close. Awesome. So that'll be just a firmware upgrade from those guys. For Vero are really good with their updates. That's why I'm hanging on to these pedals. They're not getting them back just yet. Not until they've finished doing their firmware updates, because they keep releasing that new features. Okay, so what's coming up now is a thunderstorm, where people give each other thumbs nons. Check, this is phenomenal to watch. Check this out, thunderstorm. I'll go full screen on this one. Now on here, you'll only ever see Oh, I'm a bit too far ahead. You only ever see 200 riders at once. That's the draw limit on Zwift. I'm a bit too far up, so I'm just going to back off a little bit. But you'll just see these thumbs just absolutely rain down non-stop. Oh, I'm dropping back. Whoa! I'm between bunches, I've gone a little too far. My mouse is giving up the ghost entirely. I'm not having a good time right about now. I've lost everything. I've lost keyboard. Do we still have the stream back? Yes, we do. But I have no control of keyboard.
You're on my screen.
Ah, what?
Minimize.
Now I'm back. I have 8 USB devices hooked up to this machine. It really isn't that great. Sorry if I've missed any questions here. Have I test ridden New York? No. As soon as I know anything about New York, it's going to be up here. Alrighty. Where am I? I'm still a bit too far ahead. Teaching you for not paying attention. Okay. Aha, good info there in the chat from DC Ramaker about the pedaling dynamics. The stand is a little bit different to what Garmin use at the moment. Oh, and there we go. Yeah, it's Ant Plus only. BLE hasn't solidified anything yet. Oh, BLE, come on. That's the problem with the standards. There's too many standards to choose from. And even when everyone settles on a standard, you've then got the profiles to go through and update. Am I still on a wax chain? Yeah, half and half wax chain. The reason why I say half and half is because I got sick of it and put a bit of Bow Shield T9 on it because I couldn't be bothered boiling my chain or swap. It's just a lot of work. It gets in the way of actually doing things. So let me see if it's oily. That's not too bad. It's half and half. Alrighty. I think I've got to do a video on my new Wi-Fi setup though. This is absolutely rock solid. I had a lot of trouble with the Linksys router that I bought years ago. Oh, a year ago? Yeah. $600 on spaceship looking router. It was meant to be the best thing for streaming and 802.11 AC, you name it. It was no good. Went and sorted out the room with, or the whole house with the Google Mesh. Unbelievably good. It also helps that everything then switched over to 5 gig rather than 2.4, which can be troublesome with Ant Plus. Alrighty. What are we on? 25k's done. Someone calling in from Ireland. Good morning. Do I always pedal at such a low cadence? Yes, when I'm live streaming and not looking at my cadence, of course. Don't worry about the power or heart rate or anything at the moment. Although what's quite embarrassing is my heart rate's about the same as my power. Have I tried Wend for chain waxing? No. Wend gets everywhere except where you need it.
Is that the glue stick?
Yeah, Von asks, is that the glue stick style? Is it the lipstick I've seen people put on chains that goes different colour? Look, I totally get wax chains if that's all you do with the bike, but if you're tinkering all day, every day, swapping things around and... Not for me, not for me, not now.
Subscribe.
Alrighty. Oh, we're going to drop back. Okay, so it's race lap coming up after this. George Gray says, thanks for the awesome gear reviews. No probs. It's always a bit of fun pulling new tech out. And Ray as well. Ray's in the chat. Looking at what Ray's up to. The rocker plate version 2 was interesting. Rocker plates are they're fun to play with. But the main reason why I covered the rocker plate version 2 is I don't want people to get them and be super disappointed with what they're not. There's a lot of people saying they're out of the saddle, they're the best thing ever. For a lot of us, they're not. So that's the purpose of yesterday's video, to show that out of the saddle, you're not getting that full. It's different. It's very different. But I haven't given them the kiss of death entirely. Rocker plates aren't a thing. Yeah, see, even the fact that they are even polarizing, and yes, Ray did pick up that I said at the end that I could go either way on a rocker plate. I did mean that. Some people love them, some people don't. But it's not as if it's like the, wait for it, no, I'm not reaching down there. Something like that. The Varia radar, like, you can't argue with that. That does a really good job of what it does. Whereas the rocker plates, a bit subjective. No crack at the after party, no. Just cruising.
Stay tuned.
What else just works, Von?
Neos.
Oh, the Neo. There you go. Here's one. Neo and a Bluetooth and iPad, never had a dropout. Brilliant. Okay, I think Walk Lucky asks, is anything other than the Wahoo offer Ant Plus and Bluetooth for speed and cadence sensors? PowerTap do. They've got a little funky one that is a speed sensor or a cadence sensor, depending on the orientation of it when you put the battery in. It sounds bizarre. It's kind of cool. Angela from New Zealand, must be getting late in New Zealand. Has to be at least 9:42 p.m. Thanks for calling. I think we've got to say that, do we? Watching.
Subscribe.
Von's yelling out subscribe. Have you subscribed, Von?
Number 1.
Von reckons she's the #1 subscriber. The number over there in the corner is real time, so if you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that subscribe button. The number will go up if my script is still working. Or it'll go down as well. Those things happen. As for the sensors, though, the Wahoo ones work fine, and they should be everywhere.
You just went down. Stop it, Ray.
Subscribers went down. Von reckons Ray just unsubscribed. Hey, your script works, unsubscribe. That's the kind of thing I'd do. But as soon as there's a pedal dynamics standard out, I'm hoping Zwift will implement that as a training feature. So they have up here on the screen somewhere good pedaling dynamics, because having just power is one thing, having just cadence is still just one thing. But knowing how you're tracking left and right, whilst it's not an important metric, it's nice to have if the data's being transmitted. And if there's a standard there within Ant Plus, of course they should have it. Andy asks about the rocket blade or the Kinetic R1, which feels better? We haven't had enough time on the R1 yet. We've only sat on the R1, spun it up a little bit on flat shoes and done a bit of this. That's about it. So we'll know more when they start shipping. We'll have production models we can look at. Yug unsubbed to test it out. And it worked. Cool. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there goes another sticker. Vaughn has ridden 3 stickers off the core tonight. She's
out of control. No, there's more than that.
No, they're the ones that came off the other day. Hambini's in the channel. Hambini has done a brilliant video on bearings and a few other engineering things too. So head over to Hambini's channel if you haven't subscribed there for some interesting stuff, for sure. And now we started talking about bacon and eggs and hash browns. Oh man, I haven't had dinner yet, now I'm hungry. Have I narrowed down my search for the next bike and frame? No. I'm close to the new Giant TCR, I'm close. Just because it's a really good deal. Which is Ultegra Di2, carbon frame, disc wheels. What else? That comes with a power meter that we haven't seen yet. And they're a pretty good deal, but sort of every day I look at this bike, I'm like, well, it hasn't broken yet. My bald head is really shiny here. How about that? It's nice and cool though. Vaughn's going to cover my head in stickers. Thanks, Vaughn.
Just do 2 games after that.
Yeah, TCR's 10 out of 10. Good bang for your buck. Yeah. Oh, the pressure's on in the channel. See, people call me an influencer. No. Look at the chat. They're the influencers right there. Hambini mentions we need one of those vibration sticks to see how good those turbo toners really are. Vibration sticks. What do you mean by vibration sticks? I'd love to slap strain gauges all over a bike. I've been looking at Arduinos with strain gauges and things. But I'm not sure if I can dedicate a week or so of tinkering and coding. There'd be some bloody good data though. Tax Flow, Neo or Wahoo Kicker, asked Frederick. Jump on your bike. Oh, Von says Neo. I say jump on your bike, go to your local bike store, test ride whatever you can, see what's compatible. Talk about prices, budgets, after sales service. Pool noodle vibration stick. This chat's getting real weird. Okay, what's happening on screen here now is this is the after party race, and if you take off in front of the beacon, you get disqualified. So Von's in front of the beacon, she's going to get disqualified if she races. Any idea why there's no route on Zwift from the Worlds 2017 Norway? I'd probably say commercial agreements weren't arranged. And really, let's be honest, after Richmond, did we really want another Worlds course for 3 years? I'm kidding. But I'm serious. Alright. Danix asks, can he or her use Zwift with just Wahoo speed and RPM sensor with a trainer that's fully dumb? Yes, absolutely. My Zwift on a budget video goes through using a Fluid 2 in that sort of setup. Alright, everyone's cruising. 4 people have been called out on that. I'm just going to cruise this last lap. Is Von going to attack in the race? Von, are you attacking?
Off the back.
She's off the back. She's attacking the rear of field. She's got them covered. Yeah, the course schedule on Zwift says Watopia for all of Movember. Don't believe any of that. as we saw with Innsbruck, they changed it. So their published calendar, it's their call, it's their world, it's their call, no world selection. So it's up to them. And it's frustrating a lot of people, to be honest, including me. I mean, I get on here, I see London, Richmond. I'm not sure about the music happening at the moment. Some dude's screaming at me. Alrighty. Oh. And I'm going to put a mustache on my avatar for Movember. I think I've been celebrating Beardtober. Yeah, there we go. I can't grow hair in real life, I'll do it virtually. There we go. Does my butt look big in this? Glenn Kenny mentions rockers are about reducing frame fatigue. Do we have any proof though they do reduce frame fatigue? Or could it be because your bike is now on a further angle? You're putting more fatigue on your bottom bracket? That is the question. The strain gauges and an Arduino and somebody doing a university project would come in very handy. Would I expect the power recorder for Tax Vortex to be close enough to an actual power meter? Maybe. Maybe. It really depends on the setup. If you line up all your ducks, sure. You're going to look at tyre size, tyre width, tyre pressure, tyre type, heat, calibration when it's warm. Yeah, as Yuke says there in the comments, wheel on introduces a lot of variables. And you can get... I've got to change this music. Some dude's just... Dude, stop screaming. Another question about New York. No idea. It's all Zwift. As soon as I know anything, it'll be up here on the channel. $34Ks. It's been a long one, this one, actually. It's going to be probably just bang on the hour to finish. Yeah, 30th of November, don't believe any of that. At all. I mean, we saw one of the other updates drop out on a Sunday night. That was weird. Who knows? But again, I've got everything set up here, so as soon as New York drops, be it now, be it 3 weeks, I'll jump in here, we'll go for a cruise. Alright, here comes Tim Searle now and his crew. The extra hill on Innsbruck again. It's all speculation. Are they going to add that hill or not? We don't know. People are counting lamp posts in New York? My word. That's next level. Wow. Von likes that.
Submarine! You ever seen a submarine?
Submarine.
Have you seen that?
I can't recall. I've seen him at Disneyland. We didn't catch the Nemo ride at Disneyland. How do I rate the IQ squared power meter? I don't rate it one single bit because we haven't seen one. When we see one, we might be able to rate it. As for now, I have not put any cash down on something that we haven't seen. Touchy-feely scene, not just advertised scene. Two very different things. Okay, there goes the bacon now. He's in the Pac-Man group. They'll then just sort of swallow up all the other groups as they catch them. Is anyone planning world selection for Apple TV? See, here's the problem with Zwift. I totally agree. Anyway. They've got to bring out world selection, or people will just choose to ride elsewhere. And that's a huge problem. Huge problem. If the user base, if the discussion is around, I mean, I love talking tech, don't get me wrong. But if the discussion of a product is around workarounds, there's a problem. A big problem for the company. What we need to do is discussion around how kick-ass the experience is. Not hacking the system. Again, I love tech. World selection, come on. Not back to barrel, no. No barrel trip this year. Do watch out for that hill in the first 12 Ks? Barrel Classic, that really steep hill. Von's next to me, by the way.
Yep.
Nasty hill.
Course, I don't know.
Get over here. Oh, I'm spying through the text. But feel free to drop any questions in the chat. Pull up here and have a look. Yeah, DGZ Earl. There's no world hack as we know for Apple TV. Sorry. If there was, I'll do a Zwift tip about it. But I'm hoping something will just drop from the sky one day and we'll have world selection, course selection, like everything else. The reason why world swaps save and end rides on Zwift is because on Strava, what happens is when Strava loses GPS signal from one of these, it'll draw a straight line between the two last points. The explanation was that if someone goes to a cafe, forgets to turn their Garmin or Element on or head unit, they ride 5Ks down the road, they turn it on, they don't want to miss out on that 5K, so Strava will auto-join the 2 points. You see that quite often when your units drop out or they lose GPS, they'll put straight lines. Now what happens is because the overlay used on Strava is the same for the real GPS stuff as for the fake GPS stuff, if you were to world switch on Zwift and keep the same GPS, it'll put a massive 16,000 kilometer line between two things. That's a limitation on Strava. There's absolutely no reason why they can't say, okay, virtual ride, we allow multiple points, start and finish. There should be no reason whatsoever, because virtual rides are now different to real rides. All theory, but from the information I've gathered so far, again, it's one of these legacy things. But they should do that. I mean, I don't want to start a ride, do half an hour warm up before this one, have it chop off the activity, upload one thing to everyone, start this one, upload another one. It's too messy. It's too messy. And these are problems that should have been solved 5 years ago. Do I think Apple TV should have more than 2 Bluetooth connections with an update? It depends where the limitation comes from. It may be a licensing thing with Apple. They may have paid a little less for a little chip that only does 3 connections. Not sure. I mean, the Apple TV is very, very cheap for what it is. But when there's no limitation on this thing, it's a big problem for sure. Alex feels safer watching Lama drives when Von's behind the wheel. You're saying my driving's bad? No, I'd much rather being in the passenger seat myself with the Lama drives. You also race, yes. Not recently, not recently. Do I find the stack height of my pedal a problem? Interesting question. No. But when switching from something like the Shimano with a stack height of about 10 mil to the P1s with a stack height of about 14 mil, that's a little bit. So I'll change the saddle height for sure. It's kind of weird changing saddle heights based on your pedals, but stack height does make a difference. They're the two extremes. Middle ground is I think the vectors aren't really high and the axiomas aren't very high either, so no changes there. Patrick discusses the disconnection cheat thing from Zwift. Yes. The issue there is if you actually disconnect from the internet, like if I was to disconnect right now, here's the scenario. Let's say I'm racing the group that's with me now. I'll turn these tunes down. Now if I was to disconnect, my Zwift instance is still running locally. So I could attack up this hill now, like this, whilst being disconnected. I'd be invisible to everyone else. So let's just pretend I'm disconnected. Okay, so I had to crack up the hill. 600. Okay, I'm 5 seconds up, and then I reconnect. Guess where it puts me? Ahead of everyone. No one responded to the attack because they didn't see it. That's a problem. Ninja! Cloak of invisibility. My heart rate's also a problem at the moment. Yeah, so there's an exploit that's been used in Zwift racing. That's why I've been involved in Zwift racing and the esports side of things, but there's a lot to consider when putting anything on the line, anything, be it virtual rewards, be it cash money rewards. There's a lot of exploits. You can see off to the right there the new running path. And some deer.
You're staying on after 1.4k?
Sorry?
You're staying on after 1.4k?
Yeah. I might just do another single lap of Waitopi Hilly up the old school route. Just for an extra 9k's or so. Oh man, people are counting hot dog stands on New York. Wow.
Yeah.
I hope these people still have time to talk to their families and hug their dog and feed the cat, as well as counting light posts and hot dog stands on a course that's yet to be released. That's a rabbit hole I'm not going anywhere near. Actually, you brings up a very good comment there. There was a ninja icon in game, and there still is. It's a resource behind the scenes. What they may be used for is if you hit that and go invisible and then attack. Good call. Very good call.
Still waiting for the burrito to come back.
Yeah, I'd go with that. So the theory is, if you weren't running along with that one, in Zwift, if I was to disconnect now and attack these guys I was with, and reconnect just before the line, they haven't known I've attacked, and I get that win. Very nasty little exploit. And that, the ninja power-up, imagine if that was to make you go invisible to do effectively the network hack in game. Interesting stuff. No, I'm not splinting for 180th place. Someone else can have that. Go on. There we go. Lee Egan won that one. Alrighty. Here I am down in 185. Well, that's cool. Alrighty, let's get that off screen. We'll just go for a cruise. I'm just going to do one lap of old school Watopia Hilly to cool the legs down, obviously. Who thinks to even do that? Ask Matthew Wood, mate. Humans. Humans. I mean, it's the job for some people. Look at exploit hunters or bug hunters. That's their job, to find exactly those kind of exploits and stop them from occurring. My issue with the new routes is you can't see them. If you look on the screen here, it doesn't actually... I like the old way better. I'm going to go up the KOM here. And I'm back on the beast. Bit of a stealth fighter, this one. So the disc wheel was from the beta time. They don't give out the disc wheel anymore. Superb hubbardry. Alrighty. What's the KOM? Okay, good, that's far enough up the road that I'm not going to have a... If it was 2:30, I'd have a go. Rowan Diva currently has it at 2:30. I know what kind of power it takes to do that, but we won't bother. Given it's a 155. That's probably an average for me of about 450, 460. Not tonight. Rudy discusses if average power during disconnect is increased by equals... Yeah, for sure. The hard part though is correctly identifying a malicious disconnection versus a unintentional one. But you're right. If you're attacking anyway, or if you're going hard in a race, you need a lozenge. Oh, if you have the mobile app and you're watching right now, you can give me a ride on and it will come up on screen. Your name will appear. So if you have a Zwift companion, load that up, find my name, drop a ride on and you'll be up here. What are we on now? That was a pretty long one. The extra lap there of the short laps. No keyboard? I'll have a look. No. There you go. Escape worked. You just don't have a mouse. So if you Alt Tab, there you go. Failing that, you can use the companion app. Oh, it's a heavy bike to get up the hill. Drop some ride-ons here. Yeah, that's the struggle with detecting a dropout, malicious or not. I mean, it doesn't take much to script up something to make a network slower or have it drop. Does a kicker wreck a carbon bike frame? Absolutely not. If there was any issues with using carbon bike frames on indoor trainers, Tax, Wahoo, Elite, Cyclops, Stack, Zwift, Virtua Go, Trainer Road, Road Grand Tours, One Lap, Sufferfest, Full Gas, Big Ring Tours, Kinomap. I ran out of fingers. None of those companies would exist if there was issues with bikes breaking on indoor trainers. They all rely on exactly that. How did I go for the software companies? Who did I miss?
Ruby.
Ruby! Thanks, Vaughn. And I've always said if they can redesign bikes for disc brakes, which changes everything. If Hambini's still here, Hambini, I'd love you to do a video on this one. The differences in frame design based on caliper brakes versus disc brakes, because they've moved the stress points on a bike under full braking vary like a lot. Think about a rear triangle of a bike. The braking used to be up here grabbing the wheel. As the wheel turned around, you'd brake the wheel here, all the stresses go up into this part of the bike. The braking is now down here, which is pushing up all the stresses up the seat post. It's changed everything in regards to the braking on a bike. At the front end, there's your fork, your front caliper brakes. I'm good at hand signals. There's your front caliper brakes. All the stresses were up here in the headset. Nowadays, disc brakes, your force points down here, which really would double, triple, quadruple the forces put on your headset. So they would have had to redesign all the headsets and the carbon. So if every bike company has gone and done that, which they have, why can't they just put a bike on a trainer and say, it's okay? I don't get that. I really don't get that part. It's no longer a niche market. Every single cyclist has heard of Zwift, Trainer Road, Spinnavals, Sufferfest, Full Gas, Ruby. Yeah, there's the list again. You can't be a cyclist and not have heard of any of those. The leverage is different. Everything is different with disc brakes in regards to carbon frames, but nobody has said, nobody that I've seen, disc brakes break carbon bikes. And we haven't seen that because it's not happening. Same with the indoor stuff. There have been breakages indoors of rear hangers, sure. Because if you see on the bottom of my bike, down there on the screen, there where I'm changing gears there, that's where the bike connects. And if you lift that up, there we go. If that's not plugged in correctly and tightened up, it's going to pull out and break. We've seen car videos on YouTube where they would just be driving along and a wheel just goes sailing past. Because sometimes the wheels fall off. Now, car companies don't void warranty if you drive your car on wheels. I'm down the rabbit hole, don't worry. And it's a crazy bullshit analogy. But there's a massive, massive part of the cycling industry that professional cycling may one day, very soon, rely on. This entire industry here. They need to wake up and just say, look, our bikes are supported on indoor trainers, we've done the test, we will back the customers who back us by buying our frames. I'm not even half started on this, I'm not even half started. I just don't want to bore everyone with going full rant. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But do you think of a 100-kilo rider flying down 8% hill? Oh, look, I'm on an 8% negative or negative 5%. Jamming the brakes on. There is a ton of energy there being dissipated through the bike. Don't know. Here's another observation with Zwift. See the runners? The logos for the runners are in the middle of the road. However, runners on Zwift only ever run on the side of the road. So I'm not sure why they put the logos on the right smack bang in the middle of the road for all the cyclists. I can't jump off and run. Logos need to be across the side. See, it's over the other side now, so come on, that's right. We need a world hack so we can just go and rip up and down the paths. There's a game they could make. Let's have it so we could rip up and down the run paths on our bikes. But they have the blue guys chase us. And if those blue guys catch us, we get thrown off our bikes or thrown into the bushes and we're stuck on spiral of death erg or something for at least 30 seconds. So gamify it so we can terrorize the run paths. We could sprint intervals trying to get away from the blue guys trying to catch us. Didn't Rouse say turbo trainers stress the carbon in directions that it was never meant to be stressed in? Sure, that's the theory. We haven't put strain gauges on to really know, and we're not seeing the brakes, and we're not seeing bikes come in broken from indoor trainers, specifically from indoor training use. So, again, car wheels fall off, only rarely, and most of the time it's user error. So, I don't think, just looking at the bike here, the stresses aren't too much. The Canyon warranty is an interesting website to read. Sorry, I put the music back up a little bit. Because the Canyon warranty, look, and I totally respect their position they're in, from a business point of view, from a cyclist point of view, I don't. It's a massive paragraphs, because Canyon support indoor cycling, Zwift, and as rumoured on Cycling Tips podcast today, Canyon have rumoured to be sponsoring a indoor cycling team next year. At what level does someone have to call them out saying that your warranty doesn't support that? Because I've done it for years. Who needs to call them out on that before it becomes a bit embarrassing? But and at the end of all their paragraphs, anyway, sorry, I'm ranting. Any non-warranty breakage can be covered by our crash policy, which includes use on a turbo trainer. The wording of that means they do not support any warranty claims if you're riding their bike indoors. What happens if I snap the bottom bracket out? Because it was a shit bike. It just wasn't built right. What if I snap my Shimano cranks off? They were built by Shimano. Don't know. The wording on their website for Canyon actually says get yourself out of the bike and use that indoors. So the very second Canyon announced an indoor cycling team, if that does take place, as was rumoured on Cycling Tips podcast, I'll be all over that. Someone's got to scream about it. They will have to issue them aluminium bikes. They're not going to do that. But again, I'm on their side here. I want to buy their bikes. I want people to ride their bikes and enjoy what we're seeing right here. And it won't take them much to do. They're the ones with millions of dollars of resources at hand. They have it. They have the money to do this. Is there a difference when you use an alloy frame or a carbon frame on a trainer? No, not really. Maybe a bit of vibration dampening with a carbon frame, maybe. Depends on the squishiness or the geometry. You might lose a few watts, might gain a few watts based on stiffness. Oh yeah, we're well down the rabbit hole now. I'll try and get back out. I'm sorry for ranting. Steel frame, same deal. You can have a concrete frame if you want, as long as it doesn't snap. Indoors doesn't matter. But you can't have a company, marketing department over here, singing the praises and the glory of indoor cycling and how great it is, and your warranty department of the same company saying, hell no, don't do that. Don't do what these guys are saying because we won't support you, but we'll support our other. A lot of the shit that I work with is all very, very logical data. It's all ones and zeros. These two companies being ones and zeros internal, what the hell? I don't know. The comments about lampposts and numbers on a Zwift train. So Zwift are actually tweeting out how Haven't they got something better to do? Maybe world selection? I don't care about the bloody... Sorry. I'll just ride my bike. There's better ways to hype things up than talk about the numbers of lampposts. Who are the heroes? Who are the inspiring stories? Who are the people like... The bridge we've just gone over is called Julian Washington Bridge. JWB has written on the bridge back there. You may not see it. She was on Zwift in the beta days. I think she was out of the military. Wanted to get fit. Was on Zwift non-stop, encouraging others, bringing the community together. They named a bridge after her. That's phenomenal. Who's the heroes these days online? Is it Matty Heyman? When's the last time Heyman went up helped Zwift? What time did he set? What was his power? When did Greipel get on? Greipel's been, he's retired from the, he's still a pro. When was the last time Greipel got on? What was his last sprint numbers? What are the stories that they can tell like that? How many lampposts are on a coming up course? Give me a break. Yug, you're on my wave. You're on my wave. How about putting that text in the lower third? Alrighty. Anyway, it's been a good chat. It's been a good chat. I'm not down a rabbit hole, I'm just digging myself holes, but here's what it is. We'll sprint the last 300. You ready? 1100? Can I hit 1100? What am I in the kicker? 18. Let's go for 1100 sustain for the last couple hundred meters. Get the rest of this energy anger out. Ready? 300. Let's do it. What am I on? Come on. Here we go. 1200? Oh, pulls up short. All right. Did I get 12? Was that 190 heart? Whew. Oh yeah. That's not a sign of fitness. Trust me on that one. All right. Now I'm gonna spin those legs out. Just shy, yeah, that's the kick was a bit overgeared. It's a really slow takeoff. And on a smart train, you never really wind up and get on top of it like you do outside. Le Mans you can, but on a smart train like this, it seems to grab resistance. It doesn't really allow the flywheel to let go. So sprint training, it's more about the resistance than the technique of spinning up. I mean, outdoors in a sprint, when you're really topping out, you're at what, 120, 130 RPM? But rarely you'll see that on a Zwift sprint, depending on the trainer. Oh, that's a good kick in the arse, that final sprint. Thanks for coming along for that. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a live stream, so cheers for sticking around. The plan was always to do a couple more of these and just have a chat about videos, what's coming up. $161 people watching right now. That's phenomenal. Look, I really do appreciate that. It's Really surprised it's that many watching and enjoying the content. But again, it's all about it's about the questions that come through. That's why I love doing these. It's not about me riding a bike. It's a bit of fun having a kick sprint and riding with the bunch, but just catching up with everyone, having a chat in real time, just getting the lay of the land, what everyone's up to, what the concerns are. I mean, just tonight we've talked about world switching, cheating online, the esports side of things. Really good conversation. Any reason why I switched the Neo to the Kicker 18? It's just what I had. I had the Kicker on the rocker plate yesterday. So the rocker plates moved out, the Kicker was sitting right there. So it's just me being lazy. I mean, these arms don't lift a lot. So the least manual work I can do, the better. Whew. Yeah, that one little sprint, only what, 10 seconds? Enough to cook you. On to the second bottle now. Oh. Len's about to jump on, have a ride. Good stuff, mate. Alrighty. Check my kilometres. What have we done? See, I can't give up there. I'm 100 metres off 53. We'll go through to 53. There we go, but it's not quite 53 until we see, wait for it, that. Got to get that XP point. All right, I'm toast. All because of that sprint. 53 virtual kilometres. Really appreciate everyone coming along tonight, and enjoy your rides wherever you're riding today, tomorrow, tonight. And if you've got a piece of technology that works, here's my tip for today. Just tweet the company that you like it. If you like the Element Bolt or the Garmin Edge or your new power meter, let the company know. Give them a tweet, give them an email, say thanks, because a lot of these companies deal all day with things that don't work. And if you can leave a positive review, an honest positive review, Amazon, even on any of my videos, if you've got technology that works and you have the same experience as me, add that to the list. It really helps everyone else out in choosing what to buy, choosing what to steer clear of, and having a better time, because that's what it's really all about. I'm not here for a long time, so we have to enjoy it. All right, everyone. Thanks again for coming along. Looks like everyone wants more live streams, so stay tuned. We'll be back with more. Not soon. I need a rest. See you in a day or so. Cheers, guys.